There are so many issues with the Nolan Wells murder case. And I say murder because this is exactly what I believe happened. It's so disturbing to my soul. It's sickening. We all want answers, and we're getting none. What? You gonna do that to me, honey? Yeah, what? Anyways, a quick rundown before I get to the technical aspects with this phone, which in my opinion is the true witness in this case. So, on the 4th of July, 18-year-old Nolan Wells, Xavier Wells, he joins his friends, right? The majority of them are Caucasian, and they're on this boat going to Horn Island off the coast of Mississippi in the Gulf of Mexico. It's like a popular recreational destination. It's uninhabited, so the only way to get there is by boat and by air. Now, while everyone is enjoying themselves, they're drinking, they're dancing, boat hopping, swimming, Nolan had an interest in a girl named Katie. And apparently Nolan spent a little time with Katie, not much. He was even seen hugging on her at one point in time. All right, so then there was an argument on the boat, which is believed to be between Nolan and the so-called friends. Not sure exactly who. Then we hear Nolan friends are ready to leave Horn Island, and our quote is saying Nolan did not want to leave, that he decided to stay on the island without his phone, which was being held by his friends on the boat. Obviously, this makes no sense, because I don't know a teenager that doesn't have their cell phones nowadays, and I'm an adult, and I have many adults. We always keep our cell phones with us. Some of us don't even turn it off so it can take a break. So none of this sounds right. Anyways, so they left Nolan on this island by himself. All right. So they're headed back. Their friends are headed back without Nolan on the boat. The boat starts taking in water, apparently, and it's starting to sink. So one of the boys called the Coast Guard, and a copy of the recording from this call was released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Research. And we can hear others on the boat, like they're dealing with the situation. They're asking, is he dead? You can hear that, is he dead? And more than likely, they're talking about Nolan. You don't hear them saying, oh my God, we're sinking. You don't hear that. That's not what you hear. So the friend, the male that was on the phone, that was making the phone call, you can clearly hear that he was distracted by all this commotion taking place around him about what has happened to someone else. Yet, at the end of the day, this boat was towed back with these friends to the mainland, not by the Coast Guard. Because what happened is the call was rerouted from the Coast Guard to the mother of one of the friends on the boat, Judge Ashley Coles. Why? What for? Unless something was going on, right? She got wind of something. Something was shared with her. I don't know. She figured out something. Anyways, no one knew where Nolan was. And they actually, when they got back, they remained very tight-lipped. No one said anything, and they began lowering up. They began lowering up. 2 days later, Nolan Wells' body washes up on Horn Island, at the shores of Horn Island, face down. He's fully clothed. And an independent autopsy done by the family found markings on the back of Nolan's head. And it was consistent with someone pushing him down and holding his head down. Anyway, so in this case, the friends had Nolan's phone, knowing good and well Nolan's family was looking for him. And they're asking questions. Nolan's mom finally tracked his phone down. She finally tracks the phone down and had to ask back for the phone, which is absolutely crazy, because I'll tell you what, if I was looking for my daughter and you had her phone, you better give it to me. You better bring it to me. Or when I come and get it, I'm coming for that ass as well. Anyways, because they all knew she was looking for her son. Anyways, how did the phone make it back to the mainland, but Nolan didn't? Once Christine, which is Nolan's mom, got the phone back, she realizes like all the text messages, the pictures, the selfies, and any of the videos from July 4th were literally deleted off his phone. His phone showed no activities from that day of July 4th. No activities, no selfies, nothing. And Nolan's mom actually shared with the public that all the apps that Nolan used on his phone, like the Meta, the Snapchat, the TikTok, the Life 360, and who knows what else. And now, mind you, provided the location services were on, which it usually is on because of Life 360, it tells us everything we need to know. Nolan's phone would have followed all of his activities throughout the entire day. His phone would have showed when he was active, walking, moving, when he stopped. Like with Life 360, it will tag and use location services via Wi-Fi and the signals. These activities are actually time-stamped. And I can actually get into my own story about this Life 360 and how it was used to stalk me, but that's for another day. Anyways, it documents where a person's at a specific moment, where the phone was, and the last time it was used. Now, Snapchat, on the other hand, the messages are meant to like disappear unless they are saved in the app. And this is more complicated to retrieve, because once the messages disappear, it truly is dependent on how long it's been gone and how long it's been deleted. But here's the thing, everything leaves a footprint, everything. So Why does Nolan's parents have to subpoena Nolan's data? Like, why do they have to subpoena information from his phone? They shouldn't even have to go through that. This, to me, is something that the Mississippi law enforcement should have handed over to them or their civil rights attorney, Ben Crump. Period. Here you go. So you can have an idea of what's going on with your son and what happened on that day. But they didn't even get that much grace. They didn't even get that much grace. So Nolan's parents shouldn't have to go through all of this. They shouldn't. All these delays by the Mississippi law enforcement, because law enforcement, they basically had all they needed to determine what happened to Nolan based on the deleted information from Nolan's phone. And so that we all know, like, the first thing, we all know this, the first thing that law enforcement asks for from a suspect or anybody involved in like a crime or something of this nature is they want your cell phone. And why do they want your cell phone? They want your cell phone because they want to prevent exactly what happened in this case, which is the deletion of pertinent information. Okay, anything that can give us clues to what happened on that day. There is so much information you can get. Most law enforcement agencies, like, they mainly use something called Celebrite, which it provides forensic reports. Celebrite, like, it reports digital exports, and it's generated from the mobile phones. It's generated from computers. Anything digital, they can retrieve it. Law enforcement and investigators, they actually use these structured files to review, like, the suspect's text messages, call logs, deleted data, geolocation, and application data. Like, they use it for all of that. And the reports even generate, like, device information, like the model of the phone you're using, the operating system, the serial number. It'll give you time zones, SMS, instant messages, emails, contacts, call history, media files, photos. I could go on and on and on, in addition to all GPS record coordinates for the boat. Another tool, and so that's just one tool, all right? Celebrite. Here's another tool that law enforcement uses. It's called Fog Reveal. And Fog Reveal, it's used to run like a fog area search around the crime scene. And this software, like, it draws a shape on a map and it enters the time range to find the location of every cell phone signal that was inside that zone, okay? They can input, like, law enforcement can input like multiple locations into this one area search to find all the devices, and all the devices will show up inside and outside of that crime scene area that is designated. Fog search activities will show a pattern of activity that coordinates to the event that took place. It indicates the person at the scene, like, what happened. It tells you this. They get this information easy, like who they were, where they hung out, with whom they were hanging out. It charts the activity over time. And at the end of the day, the local law enforcement, the FBI, the DA, they have the software and the tools to recover the data that people think are deleted. We think it ain't on there, but they know they can get it. And they can do, like, cell phone forensics on all the suspected cell phone devices. I would have snatched all their damn cell phones and went and did everything I needed to do to figure out what happened on that day. They can find out about all the devices that were in this location before and during Nolan's death. And so with this case, there's so many contradictions, so many inconsistencies all the way around. There's evidence tampering, lots of foul play. And there's covering up of what really happened to our sweet Nolan Xavier Wells. To me, this is an open and shut case. I'm gonna tell you that. Open and shut. And let me tell you why. This is what I believe happened. I believe this was a crime of passion. And one or more of those Caucasian boys got jealous that Nolan was getting cozy with Katie. Nolan being black, Katie being white. And there's probably not that many cute girls on the island or in their community like that. So she was probably the hot chick. I don't know. Everybody wanted her. And Nolan had an attraction to each other. So an argument ensued. There was some shoving, there was some pushing, and someone accidentally went too far and they killed Nolan. I believe that's what happened. That's pretty much what happened. So anyways, it's important for you to remember our phones are silent informants, and it's doing so on every level without our knowledge. Every level. It is very easy for the police to trace, period. They can trace where you've been, who you've been with, what you've been doing, what you were doing. They can draw a digital fence around certain locations, which is called geofencing, to identify every device within that area during a specified time window. I mean, hackers actually often use this geofencing to trap how far someone's like signal can reach. It's happened to me. And so I've had issues with that from time to time. And I really do hope that this information provides you some clarity, because by no means, What's up? Is it not recording? I don't know. Anyways, I hope this provides you some clarity. There is no reason it should take this long to give Nolan's parents some idea of what happened to their son's phone. It really shouldn't. And I'm gonna tell you what, it couldn't have been mine. Couldn't have been mine. I would have lost it. I would have flipped the damn jail upside down. I'm telling you. It's absolutely unreal. But this is my rundown of the case and what I believe happened, and how Nolan's phone plays an important part in what happened to this man. What happened to this boy? What happened to him? Give his parents some answer. Give them some peace. Unreal. Anyways, this is your girl Val, the Forensic Gal, and stay safe and secure. Peace.